One thing that I'm very, very angry about is all of these great bills that went through the House and the Senate, many relating to election integrity, relating to prohibiting the teaching of critical race theory in our schools, the prohibition of companies and schools from forcing people to wear masks, not disallowing it. If somebody wants to wear a mask, go ahead. But government and schools and businesses should not force that on people, forced immunizations. All those things passed through the Arizona legislature, and Governor Ducey vetoed them. Then he thought they could sneak it into the budget, and they did put it into the budget, and it did pass many of those pieces of legislation that our legislators worked so hard on. But then the Supreme Court struck down not just the mask mandate, that schools are able, they're allowed schools to force our children to wear masks, but every other piece of legislation that they put in there, they stated it's unconstitutional. Governor Ducey should have just originally signed those pieces of legislation. They'd be law right now. And instead, now we're going to have to battle back to be able to save this state and to save this country.
I didn't know that. Now, is it too late this year to get those back through? Can they call special sessions, or is it just done for this session?
They can call a special session. Yes, they can. But we as Republicans have to be very cautious because we had one of our representatives pass away, Frank Pratt, and one of our representatives just last week resigned. He's moving out of state, Brett Roberts. They're both in Pinal County, and they will be replaced within the next month or so. But we can't call a special session if we don't have the majority to be able to get these things done. So now that has to be delayed. All of this comes down to arrogant politicians, whether they're Republicans or Democrats, pushing things on the American people in the name of it being for our own good. I can determine what is for my own good much better than some ivory tower person on the 9th floor or Joe Biden from the basement of the White House. Don't you agree? Can't you?
Absolutely. Now, is there any chance that Brnovich is going to take this case on and give it some light? He's running for the Senate. I would think he'd want some positive attention from future voters.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, Russ. I think he has the power. I think he is a conservative-minded individual, and now we have to see because when the rubber hits the road, when things are tough like this, when you're going to be attacked by the left, if you do the right thing, you have to show us that you're going to do it. And Attorney General Brnovich has every opportunity to do it. I certainly hope that he does. I love seeing that Kelly Townsend put in another 1487 request asking questions because that puts a clock on what's going on with election integrity, 30 days from whether he decides to take it up or not. I haven't seen if he's decided to take up the 1487 process like he did with Sonny Borelli whenever he said to the Board of Supervisors that they are required to give that information to the state Senate that was subpoenaed. Now, I do wish that the Senate didn't make a deal with the Board of Supervisors because they were operating from a position of power. The Attorney General had already told the board that they had to give them the routers, that they had to give them the Splunk logs, that they had to give them everything. And instead of just forcing that to be turned over, my opinion only, and I know the Senate was fearful that they were going to get taken back to court and they wouldn't get anything. They made this deal about the special master, and then they're going to investigate, and they're going to look at things, and there's going to be a middleman. Well, you can take the middleman out right away if the Attorney General collects those routers as potential evidence in a crime and forces Dominion to produce what the Senate subpoenaed from Dominion as well. We could get to the bottom of this in just a few weeks rather than waiting around to see what happens before 2022.
Speaking of 2022, you've got good candidates all lined up?
We do. We have great candidates. I mean, any of our Republicans are going to be better than Democrats who currently hold office or who, God forbid, want to hold office, like for governor or for Secretary of State. Those are truly, in my opinion, evil people. Katie Hobbs, Adrian Fontes cannot be anywhere near the levers of power. They've been much too close for far too long, and look what's happened to our state. Yeah. Republicans have to rally together. We have to listen to President Trump. We have to take his lead and make this party an America First party once and for all, so that we can move this country in the right direction where we honor faith, family, and freedom, small government, low taxes, personal responsibility, and following the Constitution.
Wow. Well, with that, George, I'm running out of time, my friend.
Yeah, I want to thank Dan Godsich, your new communications director, for getting this all put together. And Kellie, anytime you've got something that you can tell us about this audit and where we're at on the court cases, please call.
All right, well, keep your eyes open on Thursday and start putting out on Twitter, start putting out on Facebook. If Facebook's up, if it hasn't been taken down and censored by the government or by Facebook fact checkers, say Bill Gates and Jack Sellers are not experts in anything other than certifying uncertifiable elections, and it's appalling that they're testifying for the Democrats. Point it out. They've got to go.
Perfect. Thank you both so much. Take care. Bye-bye.